guys, I am doing AMI Day 9 math. I picked one of the stories from your word problems. It is another comparison problem. I know these are pretty challenging, so that's why I'm sticking with these this week to kind of cover one. So let's get straight into the story. It said Molly washed 15 cars, Scott washed 22 cars. How many more cars did Scott wash than Molly? So let's look at some important things here that we need to know. One of the first things that we learned is that Molly washed 15 cars. So we know Molly washed 15 cars. Another important thing here that we learned is that Scott washed 22 cars. And if we look here, the question is how many more cars did Scott wash than Molly? And so we're gonna compare the two numbers again and let's see what we come up with. So we look at Molly, let's look at Molly first. We're gonna make a 10 and 5 ones. So 1 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then let's do Scott, 22 cars. So that's 2 10s, so 10, 20, and 2 1s, 21, 22. Now, if you guys can remember yesterday, what we did is we compared where they were the same. So if we look at this 10 to this 10, we can take both of those away. And then I can go ahead and I can already tell that I cannot match up all these ones to these ones. And so what do we do, guys? That's right, we're gonna take this 10 and we're gonna change it into 10 ones. So now I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now let's match up. So I can take those away, take those away, take those away, those and those. And then see how many we have left of how many more Scott washed than Molly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the answer is 7 more cars. So that would be one way if we were looking at using 10s and 1s and we were comparing like we did yesterday of matching up what's the same and seeing how many are left over. Another way that you guys can look through this, if you remember from yesterday, is we can take away the fewer amount that Molly had compared to Scott. And so we know Scott had 22. And we can take away Molly's cars that she washed and see how many there is left over. And so we could draw it out again. We could do 10, 20, 1, 2, take away 15. I know I can take away 1 10, but I know here that I cannot take away 5 1s. So what do? We regroup that 10 into 10 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and take away 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Count up how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys can see how similar this is to this, both steps. It just depends on how your child is thinking. Obviously, this way takes out a certain step of the extra step of making both sets and just taking away the second set. Another way you could do this is just by 10s and 1s. So 20 plus 2, take away 10 plus 5. 20 minus 10 gets me to 10. And then 2 minus 5. So I have 2, I need to take away 5. I can take away 2 of the 5. So I can take away 1, 2. I still need 3 to take away. So it would be a negative 3. 10 plus negative 3 equals 7. Okay, so that would be the combining same units. Along with, you could also kind of go along with what the story is saying. You could start at how many cars Molly washed and count on until you get to how many cars Scott washed. So I could start at 15 and I could count on 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and then count that. 5, 6, 7, and that would tell me that was 7. The equation that would go with this is 15 plus what equals 22. And so by counting on, we were able to see that it was 7 more cars that Scott washed to get to his 22 cars compared to Molly's cars. you could also look at this and do it similar to this, but adding. So I could do 10 plus 5 plus what equals 20 plus 2. So 10 plus what equals 20? Well, that would be 10. 5 plus what equals 2? That would be -3. I would need to take 3 away from 5 in order to get 2. So then if I add these up, it's the same as right here. So 10 plus -3. Okay, so you can see that that would just be kind of flipping this and adding how much would it be to get to how many cars Scott washed. So this is where you can see just how you can add to get more and see it that way as well. So we're not bound to one way, and that's really what I want to promote the kids. And hey, as they watch these videos, kiddos, if one of these other ways that you didn't think of makes sense to you, try it. See if you can do it on your own. Maybe change the set of numbers up here in the story and try a different strategy, or with one of the other word problems, try a different one that you feel comfortable with and kind of push yourself to doing something new and different, as long as it makes sense to you. If I did something that doesn't make sense to you or you don't fully understand, then of course, don't necessarily try that. But if you can, give it a go and see if you've pushed your thinking a little bit of what you just are naturally going towards. So hope that helps you guys with your math. I know you guys can rock those other ones. A lot of those are comparison problems, as well as some subtraction problems in it. As always, you guys message me if you have any questions or concerns.